YouTube is like, Skyla, so
There we go.
you want me to work today at 7 o'clock? By 8 o'clock, I'll be up and running.
YouTube's calling in late.
Every day it's like 7:02-ish. Maybe. I'm going to work just in time to give you the boob shot. That's pretty much what YouTube says for me. Do we got a connection, maybe? Maybe, baby? Okay.
Are we good to go?
It's looking like it. One more time, I have this problem, and I'm shutting something down.
YouTube.
Something.
You nemesis.
Something. So, hello, everyone.
Welcome.
I am Skyla Dawn.
And I'm Sean Reeves.
And you are tuned in to Lyfe Uncensored. You're getting the uncensored view of Lyfe Uncensored.
Of how we put it together.
Yes. So that's what you get with a live show. This is why I don't do it pre-recorded. People say like, "Oh, why don't you do it pre-recorded?" Because you wouldn't get to see how lovely I am in moments of crisis. Wouldn't that be awful if you didn't get to see?
It would be. Then they wouldn't get that up close and personal boob shot.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
every
the money
single
shot.
week.
Yeah.
Every single week. So, how are you doing today, Sean?
I'm great. I had a fabulous week. You know, my week felt like summer.
Well, it is summer.
I know it's summer, but I don't mean the summer heat.
I have the prettiest friends.
It's been like ridiculously hot. But you know, like that summertime feeling you get, like that summertime nostalgia that you used to get like when you were a teenager and you were getting out of school for the summer and you had the 2 months to yourself and it was just going to be fun.
Yes.
That summertime feeling, that's what my week was like.
I am so jealous. Not the week I had.
You know, I got out, you know, I was social, and I had a really, really great time this week. You know,
cool.
Yeah, we celebrated the 4th, so I did it in 2 parts, celebrated the first half here.
Yes,
with you.
You did.
Then went home and celebrated with my kids, and we did a ton of fireworks, and they just had a really, really good time. We didn't put on a huge production, but they had fun.
That's what it's about.
Yeah, so this week was just like that wholesome summertime vibe for me. And I really just enjoyed it.
That's good.
So
that's what you meant.
Yeah,
okay, I was like...
that summer. No, not this rude disrespect for Houston heat.
I was going to say,
not that.
It feels like summer here in December. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, not the weather, but just that feeling
that
you get with summer.
I miss that. I miss the not having to work, just laying by the pool all the time.
Yes, summer. Yes.
Hanging out with your friends, shopping.
Yeah, doing the fun stuff that you used to do in the summer.
Yes.
You know? That. So yeah, that's how my week was.
I want that.
Yeah.
I want that back. Yes, but you know, we got to do that some, but I worked the first part of the 4th.
Yeah, you did.
So I worked the first part of the day, and then I cooked and worked while you were hanging out.
Now listen, I felt bad. Like, I was enjoying my summertime vibes. And I'm like, you know how when you're over at your friend's house and you're relaxing, I'm like, maybe I should help with something. Skyla, what can I do?
Skyla, when is the food gonna be done? I'm like, if you ask me one more, no, I'm just kidding.
No, but it was fun. We had a good time.
Yeah, we did.
No kids, just you and I hanging out, chilling by the pool, girl talk.
Nice. It was nice. We needed girl talk.
We did.
Because we haven't had that in a while.
I know.
Uninterrupted girl talk.
Right.
So, but then we had tubers.
Tubers was excellent.
It really, really, really was. So, Saturday we went to our girlfriend's
launch party, Lena Lux.
Yes.
We'll put her link and stuff down in the comments. But she has a new show on YouTube now called Tubers. And it's the YouTube version of The Office.
Yeah, but kind of. But I'll be honest. When you told me it was like the YouTube version of The Office, I was kind of like, know, because I wasn't like a big Office fan. Because, I don't know, but it's actually really, it's like a cooler.
Cooler, yeah, it's like the cooler Office. Like if you're familiar with social media, I think it plays on every social media stereotype and makes fun of it.
Yeah,
And
it's more like makes fun of it.
right?
Because,
Over exaggerate it, but it's so much fun to watch.
yeah, because it was actually, like, I know there was a guy, now I did not know this before because I probably would have edited myself a little bit, but there was a guy there with a video camera. Little dude, you're so cute. Could you edit me out of your video? Please. If you got me
No,
in.
they were going around
Batting
like
eyes.
behind the scenes. No, so
But I laughed so much, like I might have snorted.
Yeah.
That's why you just got the batting eyes.
yeah.
Because I might have.
There were some really hysterical moments. So like if you want to laugh, go to YouTube, search Tubers, watch the
Yes.
first 2 episodes. Like honestly, if they had finished the entire season, I would have binge watched it.
Yeah, I would.
It was that much fun.
Yeah. Well, and it went by so fast.
Yes.
Like because it was really quirky, cute.
It was quirky and cute. And if you're, I don't want to give the show away, but like if you're an episode fan of carpool karaoke, you have to see their version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah, it was super cute.
Yeah.
So
Well, and it was funny to me too because I have that same issue that they kind of had in carpool karaoke. I have that on Facebook with my show.
yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. But it was really, yeah, it was fun.
So definitely go check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, and that was fun.
It was.
Getting to be with girlfriends and kind of hang out. That part felt like summer for me.
Yes.
Because I don't go out, I don't club, I don't do that kind of stuff. So it was, that part was fun, getting to kind of like, and then we kind of went out on the town a little
We
bit.
did a little bit. I learned that I can't hold my liquor in the heat.
Yeah, you had so much liquor.
Ooh, that one for a glass. When you're a mom.
Yeah, but it was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah, so we need to do that.
We should. It felt like summer.
Yes. So we need it every night.
Yeah.
YOLO.
Yes. So hopefully you guys who are watching.
Her whole body went.
But seriously, for the viewers, if your summer doesn't feel like summer, do something to make it feel like summer.
Yeah.
Go out, have fun, enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, don't go get lit. We're not saying that.
Yeah, but just have a good time with friends, family, or even yourself. There's so many things you can do to entertain yourself.
Yeah, because it really was fun just getting out.
It was.
Because I find myself getting in the grind of just working. And it was nice to kind of get out
and take a break from that, the daily grind of life.
Yeah, because I forget that it is summer.
Yeah, you do.
Because I'm working
and
all
then
the time.
The days run into each other, the seasons run into each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do.
And then with this Houston heat, you don't know if it's winter, spring, summer, fall. It's hot.
So it was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice to kind of get out and do a little bit. So that was good. You guys are tuned into Lyfe Uncensored. I'm Skylar Dawn.
I'm Sean Reeves.
And we are here every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. We know our sign is backwards. Go to YouTube if you don't like it backwards. If you're really anal about that, just go to YouTube. Or you can just send me a new iPhone. I know all of you guys like to complain that I use a Samsung. Send me an iPhone. Otherwise, I'm not buying one. I love my Samsung. So I'm just going to keep it.
And you'll continue to see the sign.
And guess what? I'm okay with that. Okay, so in the news.
There is that tropical depression coming.
There is. Okay, so you guys, take this seriously, please, because if nothing comes, guess what? So you just have some supplies in your house.
Right, and I would rather...
Some of you probably need some anyways.
Exactly. I would rather have them and not need them than need them and not have them.
Right.
So go ahead and stock up for the things that you need.
Batteries,
water.
Okay, wait. So they say batteries, but what do you need batteries for?
Vibrator. a stressful
How did
situation.
I know you were going to say that?
Just
Because
stuck it out.
on the news, they always say batteries. And today I was thinking, because the lady was like, I go and get several packages of batteries. And I thought,
Yeah.
well, I mean, I looked at my iPad and I was like, well, this doesn't take batteries. My phone doesn't take batteries. My laptop doesn't take batteries.
Yeah, but the vibrator does.
I don't think my TV takes batteries.
Yeah.
I haven't really checked lately, but
Or maybe the occasional flashlight may take some batteries. If you lose power, you might just need it.
oh yeah, we could lose power.
Yeah. So that you'll need a flashlight.
Yeah, you know
for
the first hurricane that we ever had here? My neighbors came from across the street because they knew that I had moved here from an area that did not have hurricanes, and they were like, do you have supplies? Are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I think we'll be okay. And she was like, did you go to the store? And I was like, I think we'll just eat Pizza Hut.
Yeah, okay. but I'm the pretty one. Yeah, okay.
And she was like, honey, I don't think Pizza Hut's going to be open.
So the first hurricane that I ever had to ride out by myself, I did not have the supplies necessary. I didn't have any candles. I didn't have any canned goods, bottled water, any of that stuff. And I had to rely on the generosity of my neighbors. I was a teenager. I didn't know any better. But one of my friends came over and she was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to ride it out with you. Perfect. We've got it. She came over with frozen burritos and a bottle of wine. That was our hurricane preparedness. Yeah. Don't be us. Don't be teenager me.
Did the microwave work?
Nothing worked. We were out of power for like several days. Like I said, thankfully my neighbors stepped in and were like, oh, you really are pretty. But no, so be prepared. Like if you don't know what you need for hurricane preparedness, go online. There are tons of lists.
I will put up a list on my YouTube.
Yeah, so have all of the essentials. And then, get creative. If we do happen to lose power and you need
But seriously, what do you need batteries for?
a flashlight
That's it.
and a radio, hand crank radio.
A crank radio?
Yes, because if like the tower communications and all that.
What is a crank
A
radio?
hand crank radio that
What the fuck is a hand crank
It's
radio?
a radio that you use in a state of an emergency. You can still have. I mean, you work on radio, so radio signals are like always broadcast.
Okay, wait. They did not tell me to go buy a hand crank radio.
Yes, it's like
They told me to buy batteries.
Yeah, and a hand crank radio. It's like one of those things that's like essential in a go kit or hurricane preparedness. Like the cell phone towers that they
I
go
will
down.
show you my list.
Yes, a
It
radio.
does not say buy a hand crank radio.
You want to be able to listen to like the news.
Where
and
do you
that's how
buy a
the
hand
news
crank
or
radio
it's forecast. Amazon. You can get everything from Amazon. Amazon, it's probably Sports
Never heard of
Authority.
I think you're just.
Any like Bass Pro Shops maybe might carry them. I mean, any like sporting goods.
I think
place.
you're just shitting with me right
I'm
now.
serious. Like I'm certain. Like I mean, this is Texas, so people know in Texas like what to do. A hand crank radio. That's like one of the things you should have. Batteries for that. Batteries for a lantern if you don't want to use candles because candles
I've got
risk running
candles.
the risk of fire.
I'm gonna be romantic through the hurricane.
Yeah, with the wine, chilled wine.
Me and Juju. I don't drink.
Ah.
Me, my water, and Juju. And
By
candles.
candlelight.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, so you'll need it for your hand crank radio, you'll need it for your flashlight, and then you'll also need batteries for your lantern if you decide not to use candles. Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna go get on a float and make a bonfire. Okay.
And canned foods, lots of canned foods, and water. Yes.
Oh, and don't
And
make the
medical supplies.
mistake that I first made. Make sure that you have a hand can opener.
Yes.
Because I used to only have an electrical can opener that you have to like plug in. And that does not work
No.
in a hurricane. If your electricity goes off, it doesn't work.
And that's when you get like a Phillips head screwdriver, no, flathead screwdriver and a hammer and open the can. Gotta be resourceful.
I would just go on a diet.
Speaking of that, I started low carbing today, so if I'm not myself, it's because I need a Snickers.
Anyways, but just know that there is a storm that could be possibly coming for those of you that only watch Netflix and don't watch the news and didn't know that there's a storm coming. Oh, and this storm, it's not even coming from the ocean like normal. Like, it's not coming up from the ocean. It's coming from the ceiling. It's coming from the...
From the ceiling?
I swear
This storm is coming from the
I
ceiling.
do not... Cut! I did not just say...
Yeah, you did. You said it live.
Oh my god! It's coming from up there.
The ozone layer, the clouds, the stratosphere.
Well,
It's up.
Georgia.
Yeah.
The earth. It's coming from the earth.
And it's
instead of
coming
the
down
ocean.
this way, and Louisiana's gonna get the brunt of it.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know what is wrong with me today. So I do not do drugs. I do not drink alcohol. So, and I've had very little water. Maybe that's it.
Maybe a little slightly dehydrated, just a little bit.
Yeah,
possibly.
that's it. It's hot in my house for some reason.
Yeah.
Okay. Whew. Woosah. So, congratulations to the U.S. soccer team.
Congratulations. Yes.
Women's and men's?
Women's.
Women's.
They won their 4th World Cup.
They did amazing.
They did amazing. Go
They kicked
ladies.
ass.
You know, and soccer is like one of those sports, or you know, as they call it in Europe, football, because you actually play it with your feet, which makes more sense than to call it soccer like how we call it. But anyway, they won their 4th World Cup, and I mean, it's amazing, and I'm so very proud of them
Yes,
to show
they
that
did
you know
so good.
women can dominate sports and that we can win
We're
on
amazing.
a grand scale. So, way to go, ladies! It's
Yes.
amazing.
Yes, yes, yes. And congratulations to Halle Bailey,
Yes.
not to be mistaken with Halle Berry, which some people did.
Of course.
Lots of people did. For getting...
Cast as the new Ariel for the live action The Little Mermaid.
Yes.
I am absolutely ecstatic about it.
Yes.
I am so
I'm
happy.
Yes. Well, we know you are.
I am
But-
happy.
Yes. But I'm super excited. I can't wait.
I am a huge Disney fan. Like, I really love the whole princesses. You know, I used to live in Orlando, so we would go and take the kids to the park. And I'm just so excited about this movie because I want my niece to go see it and that she can have a character on film that resembles her.
What about your daughter?
Talking about my niece. My little niece, my little 10-year-old niece who can really relate to princesses. I mean, because she loves Disney princesses. For every birthday, every holiday, I purchased a Disney princess for her. She has all of the costumes. Like, it is her thing.
See, I wish the twins were like into that, but the twins are like,
Tomboyish, kind of.
yeah, they're kind of tomboyish, you know? But they like, what's Moana?
Moana.
Moana. That's who they like.
Yeah. And then another princess who's like, kind of tomboyish, Princess Meridia.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, she's the Irish princess or Gaelic. She wears the beautiful green dress. She has the fiery red hair, and it's like really, really
Oh,
curly.
see, I didn't even know who that was.
Yeah, yeah. And she has that same, you know, like tomboy spirit.
Okay.
Like she
Well,
would
I'm
have
gonna have to check that
definitely
one out.
been on the women's U.S. soccer team and won the World Cup.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because the twins are like super like active and tomboyish and
Yeah.
you know, so
And I just think, and even for my boys, like I want them to see it. So I'm excited.
well, I love The Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited.
So it's gonna be an awesome
Yay.
movie.
Congratulations. So you're tuned into Life Uncensored. I'm Skylar Dawn.
I'm Sean Reeves.
And we're here each and every Tuesday night. We are going to do something different this week. Around 7:45, we are going to be over at YouTube, and we are going to take live. We're going to interact with you live. With the way that I am tonight, I don't know how that's going to go, but we are going to do it. So if you have questions or comments, as long as they're appropriate, I will ignore you if it is inappropriate. I'm just letting you know that right now. But if it's appropriate, we will interact with you. So if you have any questions for us, whether it's relationship topics, whether it has anything to do with tonight or just us in general, we will interact with you live. So if you go to our YouTube, it's youtube.com/Skyladawn, SKYLADAWN. At 7:45, we're gonna mosey over there and we will interact with you. Yeah. So now we're gonna do one of our favorite things, #WTH.
What the hell?
Yeah. So you wanna go ahead and start that out?
Oh gosh. I am an avid cruiser. Like, that's one of my favorite vacations to take with my children. The reason why I love it so much is because it's reasonably priced, all inclusive, and everything's there. Entertainment, lodging, meals, the whole nine. And when you take a cruise, you're going there to have a good time with your family. You're going there to enjoy yourself. And unfortunately, this past Sunday, there was tragedy on one of the cruise ships. A little girl, and I want to say she was a year old. Her grandfather was holding her up to an open window, 11 stories high, lost his grip, and she fell to her death.
That's nuts.
No, absolutely horrible. So, I feel really, really bad for that family, for the grandfather.
Crazy.
Everything. So I'm just
#WTH. What are you thinking?
Like,
crazy.
I don't want to cast judgment or anything, but it's like, why would you do that?
Yeah, so crazy. So crazy.
Yeah.
Next is Kourtney Kardashian. She's the oldest of the 4 Kardashians, and she is she turned 40. She turned 40 in April, and so this is like already, it's like recorded on their TV show, and I guess she had a meltdown
from turning 40.
Yes, from turning 40, and she like freaked out. She said she didn't know where she was in her life. She felt like she didn't know
what direction her life was going in.
Yeah.
She accomplished all the things that she wanted to, and she just felt overwhelmed about aging. And you know what? I get that.
Yeah,
I totally understand. And it's like we look at her life and we think your life is charmed. You have all the money you want, you have celebrity, you have success. What could possibly be missing?
Yeah, it's just like she's just spoiled though. So it's like that's a lot of people are like, oh my God, like,
but
hello,
you have everything.
You have everything.
Sometimes in life, like, even though it appears outwardly and materialistically that you have everything, when there's something lacking, right? When something is lacking inside,
yes, happiness is an inside job. So if you're not doing what you need to do for your insides, we've talked about that on here many, many times. If you're not doing what you need to do on your insides, then it doesn't matter what you have externally, whether it's a man, whether it's kids, whether it's money, whether it's career, nothing's going to fulfill you unless you work on the things that you need to on the inside.
If you really look at all the things in her life, she has a lot of normal circumstances going on in her life. She's a mom raising all those kids. Like, how many kids does she actually have?
She has 3 or 4.
She has a lot of kids.
Yes.
And she's raising those kids. She has an
ex. Dad is a ding dong.
Yes. So she's dealing with that. So like in just life in general, when the cameras turn off and you have to live every day, I can understand being stressed out.
Yeah, but so my suggestion to Kourtney is she needs to get into service work. She needs to start doing stuff for other people. If she would start doing more stuff for other people, then she might get out of herself and she'd feel a little bit better about herself.
Yeah. And and I think that's true. There is a lot of reward and satisfaction in giving.
Yeah, there is.
And just helping others. Absolutely.
And not just giving money. You actually have to do the work yourself.
Your time and your energy.
Yeah, you have to actually get in there and do the work yourself. A lot of people like to write a check and they feel like they're giving. That's not giving. You actually have to do the work yourself. And there's a lot to be said to actually doing service work and doing stuff in your community.
Yeah, getting your hands dirty.
Yeah, get you out of yourself.
Right.
This one, #WTH. A teenager was killed in Arizona for playing hip hop music. He literally was stabbed in his neck.
His throat was slit.
Yes.
Stabbed multiple times.
The guy who killed him was a 27-year-old white guy. He was just recently let out of prison. He had mental illness, and he said that he was feeling threatened, that he'd been attacked before by some young guys who were listening to hip hop music. He felt very he felt like that was his
He felt triggered.
yes, triggered. And the prison had put him on a program where he was supposed to go to counseling and be on meds. He was supposed to do all this stuff and be in a facility like a halfway house. He wasn't following the program, so they say they have no responsibility in it. The judge says, the prison system is lacking, but of course he has personal accountability, which
Right.
I think we all feel that.
Right. His mental illness does not excuse what he did.
No, not whatsoever.
But it definitely is a contributing factor.
Yeah, but I think
It just goes to show how our society as a whole has failed people with mental illness. Like, we don't have anything really in place to, care for these people or to provide for these people. And I'm not trying to sympathize with the murderer or anything like that. That's not what I'm doing. But there are so many people who are mentally ill on the streets. Like, most of the homeless population are actually mentally ill.
Yeah.
And mental illness isn't a crime. You can't criminalize mental illness. You can't penalize a person for being mentally ill.
So you can't make them take meds.
So you can't make them take meds, and you can't remove them forcefully from the population. We can't restrict their rights and their liberties and their freedoms. I mean, they have the same basic rights as we do. So how do we treat these people? How do we prevent situations like this one from happening again? And I think anytime you're mentally ill and you have a very extensive rap sheet like this guy, you have documented mental illness, there needs to be a program in place to where you are monitored weekly. We as a society, we need to be responsible for these people and for their behavior, that we know that they're getting the proper treatment that they need. They're going to their psychiatrist. They're taking their medications.
Well, and with most mental illnesses like bipolar and I'm not as familiar with schizophrenia, but definitely mania, manic depressive and bipolar, those are types of mental illness that tell you not to take your meds.
Right.
They tell you that you're doing better once you're on your meds and you start to feel a little bit better. Those mental illnesses tell you that you're better and you don't need your meds. So they stop taking their meds when they start to feel a little bit better. And then
they go right back in. They
Yes.
backslide. And a lot of people who have mental illness don't realize they're mentally ill.
No.
Their mindset in the world in which they operate is their normal, even though it's not normal for us. And they operate outside of reality, and it's sad. So if you know anyone who is suffering from mental illness, talk to them and encourage them to seek treatment.
Yes. Hashtag WTH.
I can't imagine, and that poor kid's family. It's just it's tragic. It should not happen.
No. Last one. Hashtag WTH. This is something that, we're, for years and years, of course, we've been having this issue, pay discrepancy for women. But this came up because, the women's soccer team just won.
Right.
We just won. And do you know that they're only getting 18 cents on the dollar compared to the men's soccer team? Hashtag WTH. The women's soccer team, each one of them are getting paid $200,000 or less. Like the highest paid one is getting $200,000. Whereas the men's, a man on the soccer team is getting $1,114,429 in comparison.
Yeah, I mean,
hashtag WTH.
It's a huge discrepancy, but I see it like this when it comes to sports.
Hashtag WTH.
Yeah, but sports.
Crazy.
Sports, they're revenue driven. The women's soccer team.
It's bringing in as much money.
Well, no, not really. They're a total revenue, gross revenue for everything that they do, for ticket sales, merchandise, everything that relates to their sports, like that driving force behind them. It's that same driving force that dictates Steph Curry's contract or a LeBron James contract.
Well, they
to
were
where
saying
they
on the
make
news though, you have to look at the numbers though, because they were saying on the news this morning that they were bringing in, they're sold out, they're bringing in just as many contracts for advertising.
They're not though. The men's team brought in $6 billion.
And how much are the women's bringing in?
They brought in 131 million.
Oh.
Huge difference.
Oh, that is a huge difference.
Huge difference. And you know, it's just like with any sport where you have, you know, guys on a football team. I don't know how much the highest paid football player earns, but I know it's a lot. Whereas the lowest paid player earns what, like 500,000 a year? So I kind of see it like
which?
On an NFL team.
Oh no, they make a lot less than that.
They make less than 500,000?
Way less than that.
So like how much does the average player who's not a superstar in the NFL earn?
Oh, they could make.
I thought it was a minimum of like 500.
No.
No?
No.
250?
No. No.
I thought they had NFL minimums.
No. We're not going to get into
No.
this, but no.
Okay, but that's why. That's why. It's that it's who has the star power, and the women are great. They are great, but you know, I feel like there should be more investment in women's sports, and we need to do more to generate interest in women's soccer. And then once that interest is generated and it's on par with what the men bring in.
Oh yeah, if they're not bringing in that advertising, then
No.
they can't make that kind of money.
No. And then some of the players too. I mean, like one player, the star player, she's gonna end up making a couple of million this year from endorsements alone.
Oh, well then why is this even an issue? You told me this is a hashtag WTH. This isn't even an issue.
It is because it's a big deal in the news. They filed a federal suit for pay discrepancy.
Oh, well this isn't an issue then.
No, but that's why
Scratch that.
they're earning less.
Scratch that.
So yeah.
Yeah, this is a non-issue to me anyways. Yeah. Anyways, so we just lost a whole bunch of followers. They're like, you guys don't even know what you're talking about.
No, we do think women in the workplace should earn just as much as men in the workplace. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a guy and we're both qualified, we have the same credentials, we can do the same job. There is no reason why you should earn $20,000 more than me a year. We should earn the same, but for sports, it's different.
It is very different.
Very different for sports.
Yeah. It depends on what's coming in. So
yeah.
You are tuned into Lyfe Uncensored. I'm Skylar Dawn.
I'm Sean Reeves.
And YouTube at youtube.com/SkylarDawn. And we will answer your questions and talk to you live. We'll try it. It'll be the first time ever, maybe the last time ever, but we'll see how it works.
So head on over there and ask us some questions.
Yeah. If you want us to ever do it again. Okay. So Lyfe 101 is where we talk about relationship topic. That's where we bring in relationships between intimate partners, between friendships, family, coworkers, neighbors. This week we're going to talk about adult children. So how do you step away from parenting your adult children in a healthy manner, loving them from a distance, without intruding on their space, and without crossing those boundaries? Because a lot of times when you are parenting, you're the adult, but you're still their parents.
Right.
And a lot of times they will come to you wanting your help. I've got something on my lip. They'll come to you wanting you to come in and save them or fix it.
Right.
And as the parent, you want to, but a lot of times you need to let them make their own mistakes.
Right.
You need to let them live their life. And you need to create those boundaries because either one, you're going to be saving them forever.
Their entire life.
Or two, you're going to be prolonging the inevitable. Or three, you're stepping in the way of God. You're stepping in the way of the universe. You're stepping in the way of what is meant to happen for them. You know, you're getting in the way of what was allowed to happen to you.
You know, as a mother, like I remember when I first brought my daughter home from the hospital, and it didn't even dawn on me that I was gonna be a mom. Like I knew I was pregnant, obviously, duh. You know what I mean? But like I deliver this baby, and I'm like, oh, it's a baby, you know. And then
Right.
I go home with her, and it's just her and I look at her and I just burst into tears. And it's like, oh my gosh, I am a mother. I am responsible for this person for at least the next 18 years. And then, and, I started crying hysterically, and like all of these thoughts went through my head. It's like, oh my God, how am I going to keep her alive? Like every pet I've ever owned has died. Like, I can't even keep a goldfish alive, let alone a baby. What do I do? But then, and it's like, and I thought about it, and my mom told me, your job is to nurture her, to raise her, to help her grow into a loving, kind, compassionate person who is capable of functioning in this world without you. Our goal as parents is to teach our children to live without us, because eventually they'll have to. You know, our childhood and the time that we spend with our parents, our formative years, are just a teensy, teensy weensy amount of time in our lifetime. We're going to spend much more time as adults than we ever did at home with our parents. And we have to learn to be self sufficient. And parents do that when they cut those strings, you know? So I think you have to, in a loving manner, you have to cut them loose.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you do that?
Now, my own advice.
Yes.
Because I have an 18-year-old, a 19-year-old now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's 19, just turned 19 in February, who was still very codependent.
Very codependent.
Very codependent. And you just have to start setting boundaries. And you can't be afraid to say no. You have to say no, and you have to be prepared as a parent for the consequences of that. Because if you don't, they're going to constantly be there. They're going to be constantly wanting you when they need you, but not necessarily growing, if you know what I mean.
Yes, they can't grow. You're retarding them.
Right.
You're keeping them from growing if you do not say no, if you do not step away from them. You have to allow them to grow.
And and saying
and you have
no,
to allow them to make mistakes.
Right. And saying no is painful. It is painful because we don't want to say no to our kids. We don't want to see our kids fail. It's like when they're playing and they're a little kid on the playground and then they get knocked over and they get like a scratch. You want to run over, you want to pick them up, you want to comfort them. But once they become adults, you can't.
But the thing is, like for instance, in your situation, your daughter is in a very somewhat controlled environment. Okay, so if you say no now and allow her to make mistakes now, the mistakes are pretty minimal.
They don't have the same
She's
consequences.
Still in a very
later.
Controlled environment. So if you allow her to make those mistakes now, it's going to be painful for her. It's going to be uncomfortable, but she's going to feel it. And then she's not going to have to make huge mistakes later. Because at some point you're going to have to let her go.
Right.
So if you keep taking the consequences of her mistakes and her actions now,
then she's not learning from them at all.
She's not going to grow. She's not going to learn. And then those mistakes are going to be exponentially worse when she gets out of the nest.
Yeah.
Because even though you've taken her out of your home, you haven't taken her out of the nest.
Yeah, she's still there. Most kids, even once they're in college, they don't leave the nest until much later.
No. And that's the thing. It's like children are the point of them going to college is for them to grow and learn and make some mistakes. So if you continue to baby them and take on all of those mistakes for them and you take all of those hits for them while they're there, the whole point of them going away to college is just there was no point.
And it's funny, you have these little baby birds who, they'll always be your baby. You have these little baby birds who are still in the nest who are so quick to tell you that they're grown.
Yeah. They're really quick to tell you that they're grown.
They're so quick to tell you that they're grown and that they're adults. But they still need you because they really, even I'm a firm believer that when you turn 18, even though you're legally grown, you still have a lot of growing to do. You still have a lot of learning. So when they're out on their own, this is still that transition stage to becoming a real, true, functioning adult. And the best way for us to help them do that is to, we can be there to as a safety net, but we can't come to their rescue with every single thing that they want every single time.
No.
We have to let them experience, like you said, the discomfort of being an adult.
Yes. Because if they do not experience any of that, then you really just set them up for failure in life.
Mm-hmm.
You really just completely set them up for failure. So then when you actually take that safety net out, then they have a long way to fall.
Yeah.
They have a long way to fall. Whereas if you keep that safety net there, then they're just falling a little ways. And they have to fill it. Yeah, it sucks. But then they can pull themselves back up and they'll be okay.
And not only that, but when they're able to do it on their own, it gives them a sense of pride and accomplishment and security, and it also boosts their confidence.
It does.
Because it teaches them that I can do this on my own. I can survive in this world on my own. I can be self-sufficient, self-reliant. It's like, hey,
okay,
I can
so
do
then
this.
they get out of college.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they get out of college. So let's say they're 22, 23. Okay, so these are they're adult children. I mean, they're actual adults. They're starting their career. The career they have chosen. A lot of kids are moving back home with their parents now.
Right.
Or even if they're not moving back home with their parents, do you get involved with their decisions or allow them to make their own decisions? And this is where I've seen, I have a lot of clients.
Choices?
No, either their career choices, their relationship choices, their money choices, any of their choices.
So when they move back home, basically, do you start
whether they move home or they don't move
or do you
home?
just let them go on? I think let them do whatever it is they're going to do.
Yes, they need to make their own choices.
Yeah.
They need to make their own decisions. If they come back to you for advice, you can give advice, but don't get involved with what they're doing.
And don't try to control the narrative
No.
of their life. Let them take. I mean, it's something.
They need to make their own choices,
right,
their own decisions.
You have to let them walk their own path.
Yes. You walk your own path, they need to walk their own path. Because I feel like, for one, it's too easy for them to then blame you
when things go wrong in their life.
When things go wrong. And then you're cleaning up that mess because they have that guilt and that shame that they get to put on you. And then that codependency continues years and years into adulthood. So now we're not just in young adults, we're in older adults. Then we get into the mid to late 20s and they've got that guilt and shame over you because that continues a codependent relationship. So to ensure a healthy parent-adult relationship, parent-adult-child relationship, we allow them to grow and make decisions. And if they come to us for advice, we're there for them, we listen to them, ask them what they want to do, and let them know that we support them. But really, we're there kind of for them to bounce off of.
Not to intervene or interject ourselves into their adult lives.
Yes.
Absolutely. Because, when you do that, it causes resentment.
It does. You're really setting yourself up for resentment. And for a very codependent relationship. And that is what we don't want with our kids.
Right. You will
because
always
then that will run into a intimate relationship for them because they will end up in a codependent intimate relationship as well.
How I see it with my daughter and I have a total of 3 children. I will always be their mother, but I won't always be their parent. And you have to learn to draw the line between the two. My job as a mother never stops. I will always there. I will always love them as my children. But at some point, I have to stop parenting. And that's when they become adults.
You got that? You guys are tuned in to Lyfe Uncensored. So much fun. We're here every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. And we are at about 7:46, so we can go over to YouTube and see if we have any questions. If not, we'll be an early show tonight. Oh, we did. We have good evening. How's H-Town tonight? H-Town is good. Every pet I've ever owned has died, is what they say. So, so this is Lyfe Uncensored. We're here every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Lyfe Uncensored. Facebook is Lyfe Uncensored Show. You can watch us 7 p.m. on Instagram at Lyfe Uncensored. At SkylaDawn.com. Facebook is SkylaDawn.com or YouTube at SkylaDawn. Subscribe to SkylaDawn on YouTube. We're going to start putting a lot more stuff up, do behind the scenes, bloopers, answer questions, stuff like that. We're going to try to get more interactive with you on YouTube if it works out. So if you go to youtube.com/SkylaDawn right now, we will answer questions or be interactive with you on our live show. If we have you over there, if not, then we won't. So right now we just have, I think right now it's just one person. And that's all he said was, how is Houston tonight? And
Houston's great.
Houston is good. We are just preparing for this, this weather that's about to come. And loving life.
H-Town, baby. Do I sound like a real true Texan?
Not really.
No. Because I'm from Virginia.
Yeah, you are originally
I'm from Virginia. But it's crazy. I'm from Virginia, but I always wanted to live in Texas. So I've always been a Texan at heart. As a little girl, I knew that I would eventually end up here. I didn't know I would be in Houston, but I knew Texas.
I never thought I was going to be in Texas.
No?
No. Really didn't. Wasn't ever a goal in life.
Yeah, here you are.
And I am here. Probably be here for a long time. Yep. So I guess that is our show for tonight. And I appreciate you guys for your love and support. Go subscribe to us on YouTube. And we will see you guys next week. Love you bunches and lots.
Good night.
Good night, guys.